Hi everyone, Tai here. It seems like it's been a long time. Does it seem that way, John?
Long time.
It was, what's it been, maybe a week and a half?
At least.
At least.
Where you been?
Well, let's see. We had the Rudy Paris amazing show at the Federal Bar on the 17th, so I guess that was last week. I've lost complete track of time. But anyway, the show went great. My friends loved it. I don't think they've had such a rockin' performer there on that stage. So he set the bar for the next rock and roll show there, because he blew the roof off.
Great.
And he was great. And John, thank you so much we have footage from the show, Rudy. So I'm sure John's going to put that together. We have some backstage footage. So.
Fun time.
It was so much fun, and Rudy, thank you again. He did a version of my favorite song, Little Wing. Remember that?
That was great.
Oh, I got emotional. It was so beautiful, and I went there. It's like I could see Jimi Hendrix so proud, going like this to Rudy. Yay, Rudy. Made him proud. So anyway, that was that last week. I promised everyone, all my Facebook friends, that I would tell my Elton John story. It's a good one, and hopefully I can remember it. Let's see. Let me set it up. 1981. I guess I was 20, maybe just turned 21, because I can't remember the month. But Randy and I were with Ice Capades, and it was our first big tour with that show. And an Ice Capades tour is basically 9 months on the road, with 2 weeks off at Christmas time. So anyway, so we're on this big major tour with the #1 ice show, and with an Ice Capades tour, we also we have a dark day, which is Monday. Monday's our day off, our travel day. Either buses or, depending on how many miles, we would take a plane. But I can't remember exactly what city we were in before we got to Cleveland. The Cleveland Arena. I'm sure that's not the name, and I don't even know if it's there now. But we were in Cleveland, and on our day off. So I think we got into Cleveland early, and we got passes to see Elton John performed that night, which was so cool. I mean, we were such big fans, still such big fans, and so excited to see the show. And we got to meet him before the show, which was so cool. And here's another thing, another cool thing. The drummer for Elton's band, then, I think he's still with them now. I think his name is Nigel Olsson, so English, Nigel. Nigel's niece was a figure skater, if I can remember correctly, and I think her name was Alicia. I can't remember her last name, but anyway, that was a coincidence. So, what am I eating? I have a good story to tell. Don't eat. So anyway, got to meet Elton before the show. The great thing was he did know of Randy and I guess he had, paid attention during the Olympics, which we got so much press. So I guess he caught some of that, and he knew who we were, which was great. So got to meet him, got to take a picture with him, which is actually in the Tai and Randy book. And then we went and took our seats. It was Randy, myself, and a few of the other performers in Ice Capades. So we went and took our seats. Seats were great, and with Elton, it's hit after hit after hit after hit. And after one of the hits, he got on and started talking, and he said, "I would like to dedicate this next song to my friends, Tai Babilonia and Randy Gardner." We screamed. We were in shock. And, we just looked at each other like, what? Are you serious? He's dedicating a song to us, so the song was Rocket Man. And the place, I mean, I looked around, and first of all, when he said our names, the place erupted. And then, the song, of course, is incredible. So that is my Elton John story. But it goes, there's more to it. that incredible night. Fast forward to maybe 2000, 2001. Once again, I wrote about it in the book, but I get my years mixed up. So another Elton John show here in Los Angeles, and afterwards we got to go and say hello. And what Elton said to me, he came up to me and said, thank goodness he remembered, but he said, it's so much it's so much better being coherent these days. And it threw me, because I was at that time attempting sobriety, didn't quite get it, didn't take it seriously. So I was kind of, I wasn't bad, but he was completely sober, and he was very serious about his recovery, and I just thought that was so funny. That's what came out of his mouth. It's so much better this time around being coherent. It's just, my life is so funny. But anyway, Elton John, thank you for that. Once again, that whole story is in the Tai and Randy book, Forever Two is One. What else? It says hockey game. You got your notes. I got my notes, my cheat sheet. Hockey game. This was last week. I was invited by two friends and went with my friend Amy Ray, hi Amy, to the Staples Arena to see my first LA Kings. I know I'm so embarrassed. I know.
First one ever? My
first one ever. The only other hockey game I attended was in Lake Placid in 1980. So, and you know what game that was. That game. The game. Where I thought the roof was going to cave in. And we are all cheering our teammates. So that was the last hockey game I attended, 1980.
Probably pretty hard to top that one.
Yeah, you can't top that one. Anyway, the LA Kings, it was, first of all, the seats, we were right next to the ice. And to the right of us, I posted a picture on Facebook, were the boys, were the Kings, when they get on and off. And I had no idea how fast they skated. And everything was so quick and seamless, and it's just the timing of it. So I now have, oops, I dropped it. I now have a new appreciation for hockey players. They're amazing athletes. They're amazingly quick. Their timing is impeccable. So I'm ready for my next Kings game. So thank you to my friends. I won't name any names, but they know who they are. Thank you. It was a wonderful night, and I'm now an LA Kings fan. And I should have been years ago. What else? I'm trying not to waste time. What else?
Wait, any desire to get on the ice with them and get in the rink?
To skate with the hockey players?
Yeah. Kind of cool.
You know what? I did skate with a hockey player. I did a commercial for ESPN years ago.
Really?
Years ago. And they teamed me up with Luc Robitaille. Do you know that name?
Sure.
Yes, legend. He was actually at the game last week. But I didn't know who he was back then. I know, of course, now who Luke is. But yeah, they wanted a figure skater teamed up with a hockey player to do sort of a small pair number for a little spot for ESPN. And I wish I had that little commercial spot. So yeah, so I've done it. I have skated with a hockey player. Very cool, very cool. What else? Oh, I said I was going to read, I'm prepared, a poem about my brother. And it's, once again, that's in the book too. In the Tai and Randy book, Forever Two is One, which Stevie Nicks wrote the foreword to this book, which I talked about in the last one. So with this poem, it's about my brother, Constancio, my older brother. He's 3 years older. And Constancio, yes. And with this, with my brother, because there was so much, when you have a skater, or not even just a skater, but any child who is focused on one thing and serious about it and just knows what that, what the child wants or what the kid wants. I knew exactly what I wanted at 7 years old. I knew I was supposed to be on the ice, and I knew I wanted to dedicate my life to figure skating, which I did. But with that, when you do have a serious skater, in my family's case, everything centers around that skater. It's a commitment, not just from me, not just from Randy, but from our families. So with that, my older brother took a back seat. And, you know, what's funny is my brother is the athlete in the family. I had to work for everything. He was the natural athlete in tennis, football, baseball, whatever. He could do anything. I could do one thing, and that was skate. So, but whatever. Like I was saying, everything was centered around me, and I think he never said anything that he resented it or was angry about it. It's just that's how it was, and he really had to take a back seat. So that's what part of this poem is about. I think the turning point for the two of us was in 1980 in Lake Placid, after Randy and I had to withdraw from the games due to Randy's injury. That night, after everything went down, you know, we all went home, and a lot of confusion that night, so much confusion. But anyway, I couldn't sleep, and still to this day, I'm not a great sleeper. I'm lucky if I get 4 hours. But that night, I just felt like talking. We both felt like talking about our childhood. And just all of these wonderful stories came out about my brother and myself when we were kids. And it was so special because we'd never really done that before until that night. So it's interesting what triggers something so special and wonderful, and you know, something so tragic that happened to Randy and myself, but something pretty fabulous came out of it, and that was this reconnection with my older brother. And he did say that he didn't resent me. He, you know, it was just, you know, he saw the talent, and he realized that he wasn't able to focus on one sport where I was, so he understood all the attention. Anyway, blah blah, I'm rambling. I'm gonna read this. This is another deep one. It's called Empty Space, and I wrote it here at home in Los Angeles in 1984, actually. So I guess I was digging deep that year. Anyway, here is, let me get comfortable. Empty space for my brother. Much attention centered around me. In the beginning you never understood. A desire to trade places so many times, no, I never could. Times when I doubted your love, a guilt I can't erase. The lost closeness reappeared to fill that empty space. That's for my brother. And what's interesting also now, I start crying. You know, we've come, it's not perfect, but right now it's because we went through something a few years ago. Actually, it's funny, when I got sober, it's weird because a lot of people, my family, just, they didn't know how to, I don't know, accept it or deal with it. And it threw a lot of people off. I think it threw my brother off. And we didn't talk for about 4 years. And just recently, baby steps, we're talking. We're communicating. So I'm so grateful for that because he is my rock. And I do know my brother has my back as I have his back. And you can't break that, you know, that's blood. And you can't break that bond. So that was this poem, Empty Space, for my brother. And it's, you know, it's an everyday thing with us, which, you know, you never think it's going to happen to you. I hear it with other friends, with their sisters, you know, where they're not talking or they just don't get along, and it's like, why? And then all of a sudden it happened to me. So, but we're back on track, and like I said, it's baby steps. And I love you, my older brother. I love you, love you, love you, and thank you for your support and your love, and for believing in me, because I believe in you. And I think I'm going to end it there, because that was pretty deep. And thank you all. I think on the next show I may bring a guest in. What do you think about that?
That's a great idea.
A guest?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we need a guest.
A guest. So I won't tell you who it is. It'll be a good one. I'm sure he will do it. Okay, that's all, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know this went long, but I don't know how to do short videos. I just don't. So, bye. Love you.